stop doing so much, which is hard work, and start doing the heart work, which is going to link into the next one really quickly here. And the hard work is kind of cool. We got. Let's imagine this microphone is one of those Popeye punching bags. You hit it, it comes back at you and whacks you in the face. So I'm going to do the hard work, pushing against what I don't want, or pushing away what I don't want, or grabbing out there to try to find some answers to things that I can't answer right now. In that pushing out energy, it's going to come back and whack you in the face. Bottom line, that's the hard work. So don't be surprised if hard work comes back and whacks you in the face or bites you in the butt. It's going to happen. So the best way through that is to tap into the heart, which takes us right up into here. Okay. This is a phrase, and it's a concept that we came up with a handful of months ago, and we're starting to use it a lot. We're going to use the equation E equals mc squared, which, because we love that, because it does relate to energy. We want you just to focus on the E energy part. We don't care about the mc squared as much right now, or we certainly don't care about what they meant when it was first discovered. E equals mc squared. Remember, this is linked to somebody who is trying to open up, so we're going to weave the story together for you. Somebody who's trying to open up, especially, for example, if they're being triggered by some pretty wavy emotions in the emotional environment there, there's things knocking them out of alignment, kind of swaying them over here. This one is stuck in the hard work of identifying what this person doesn't know. So there's stories that have flown around, and anybody in this room can talk to anybody in this room and get insights and ideas and brilliant concepts and pearls of wisdom. But when you gather, and for this person, a lot of gathering of pearls in the room, and then you line the pearls in front and say, okay, now what am I going to do with the first one? And where am I going to take the second one? And what is that third one? And how am I going to do that with the fourth one? And when's that going to happen for the fifth one? And who's going to help me with the sixth one? And what comes after that? And what comes after that? And all these unanswered questions are linked to great concepts, but they're feeling kind of heavy. So when we say we want you to open up by connecting with us, which is the heart space, the hard work is banging away at the unanswered questions. So let's take the E equals mc squared concept, because we do love this one, and it's got a whole lot of stuff that we can add to that. With the E equals mc squared concept, imagine that if this wonderful little bottle of water here were the place that we want to be, and although it's finite and it's pure, we'll use that as a representation of the wall between where we are and where we want to be. So this is the wall between where we are and where we want to be. And the wall is made up of a whole bunch of different bricks, and each brick has a little title, and the first title is, what's the first step, what's the second step, who's going to help me, how's that going to happen, when am I going to do that, and why am I going to do that, and where am I going to go from there, and how am I going to pay for that, and how's that going to happen, all those unanswered questions that kind of get kind of heavy. The first E equals mc squared, the equation. Now we're going to make it first person because it makes sense for grammar, so we're just doing it grammatically to make it correct. So the E, if the E energy is one of exhaustion, so anybody, especially this one who's triggering this here, bless your soul for stepping forward or sitting back and allowing us to poke you with a stick, proverbial stick as it is. Thank you. For this one who is feeling rather exhausted, so the E becomes exhausting. Exhausted by all those bricks in the wall that have questions on them that are unanswered. Where do I go first? Where do I go next? Who's going to help me? When is that going to happen? How am I going to do that? What do I have to learn next? How am I going to pay for that? Why am I even doing that? All those questions. The exhaustion is equal to, now we'll use the M for my, because we have to do it for grammatically correct. We don't want to screw up the grammar too much. So when one's exhaustion is equal to my challenges, the questions in the wall, squared. When you've got a lot of questions going on there, and all you're doing is banging away at those questions, those bricks in the wall, because you've been taught or come to believe, because there's two things there. You can be taught and not believe it, which is a very good point, but you've been taught and come to believe, which we can't quite understand, that the way through the wall is to chip away at the bricks. I don't know what to do. I'm going to find out. Chip away. Who can I talk to? What can I find out? Or what's the next step? Well, I got to talk to a lot of people and find that out. Who's going to help me? Well, I got to talk to a lot of. I got to figure all these things out there. So when there's a brick in the wall that's holding you back from where you want to be, and you're exhausted because you're chipping away at trying to find those answers to those unanswered questions, we would say the most important thing is right now, man, that feels really heavy to us. Really, really, really heavy. That is hard work. There's no question. So when we're saying, okay, let's go back to that first thing. When you're on some stilts there and you got maybe what's causing the waves in the pool or the waves in the ocean to kind of take you a little bit off balance right there is your own mind and your own beliefs taking you banging against the wall of unanswered questions, kind of stirring up the emotional environment. It doesn't feel so good. We're saying, remember, the way out is up, open up, which means up there is not hard work, it's heart work. So the hard work is beating away at beating the drum of the bricks in the wall. The heart work is this, when the E becomes enthusiasm or excitement, connecting to my goal, dream, desire, whatever it happens to be squared. When I'm focusing right now on the energy of being there now, Not doing anything to get there, just being there right now. My energy right now shifts. My energy right now becomes pure. My energy right now becomes one of ease and flow, if you want to use that old phrase that a lot of people are using. So when the AE exhaustion is equal to my challenges squared, right now I feel in a pretty stuck kind of place. Doesn't help me move forward. If I can just realize what I'm doing and say, okay, hey, I'm beating the drum of unanswered questions and I'm kind of digging myself in a hole that doesn't feel so good here. Okay, I got to open up, open up, open up. Not hard work, but heart work. Heart work equals enthusiasm. Excitement is equal to my connection of where I want to be. Dream, goal, desire, whatever it happens to be, squared. When we focus on the energy right now of where we want to be, and we focus on how it feels to be there now, we guarantee you that right now what you've done is you've shifted not only in feeling better right now, which is kind of a logical conclusion we would think for most people, but what you've done, now we're not going to go law of attraction on you, although we're tempted to right there, but what you're doing is you're removing the resistance. Oh, we got to jump into this next person right here really quickly. Okay, removing a resistance for this one here.